week 13 of the fantasy basketball season. And here's a few forwards I look to buy and trade for this week. The first guy, Kevin Durant of the Brooklyn Nets. And now Durant with an MCL sprain in his knee, out for a month here. And we know he's one of the best players in fantasy basketball in the NBA, but injuries have always been a concern for Durant over the last 3 seasons. On the season, another monster year, 29.7 points a game, 6.7 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 1.5 blocks, 1.8 threes, and 55% from the field. To Durant, he's going to get about 30 points a game for fantasy owners. He's going to be a solid rebounder. And, he's just going to be efficient and get the job done. But now, obviously, out a month, if you're a owner that could wait for Durant, or you're up there in your standings and you can make a trade for him and wait for the playoff push, this will be the time to get him while he's out a month and his value's at a season low. So the last few games before he went out, January 4th, the Chicago Bulls, 44 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, 2 blocks, 5 threes, 8% from the field. January 6th at the Pelicans, 33 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 4 threes, 34% from the field. And January 8th at the Heat, 17 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, a block, a steal, a 3, 45% from the field. So right here, Kevin Durant, he's going to be out for a month. That'll take you to about week 18, week 19 of the season, just in time for the playoff push. And this will be the time to go out there and get him right as the injury has just occurred here a few days ago with the month timetable. So Kevin Durant, if you could get him on the cheap and get a guy for the playoffs that's going to put up 30 points a game pretty much, that's a big plus for fantasy owners. And this is a perfect time to buy him low this week. The next guy, Michael Porter Jr. of the Denver Nuggets. Porter Jr., we know back injuries and stuff have been a problem for him over the last few seasons, but he's definitely a talented player and a guy who could help fantasy owners as long as he could stay healthy as well. On the season, 16.2 points a game, 5.9 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 2.7 threes, and 46% from the field. But the last few weeks here, 15 a game, 5.6 boards and assists, 2.4 threes, and 45% from the field. So his stats have been even keel. I know last season was a banged up year for him. He didn't do much, only 9.9 a game, but this year definitely took the next step. But he still had some bad games here and there with the field goal percentage low as well. So the last few games here for Porter, January 5th versus the Clippers, 10 points, 5 boards, a 3, 40% from the field. January 6th versus the Cavs, 16 points, 8 boards, an assist, 3 threes, 38% from the field. And January 9th versus the Lakers, 12 points, 7 boards, a steal, a block, 2 threes, 38% from the field. So right here, we know he can score the basketball. The efficiency definitely has to get better, obviously, for Michael Porter Jr., but he's a talented forward, and he was a guy that would have been the number 1 pick overall a few seasons ago in the NBA draft if his back wasn't an issue. So right now, while Porter's having a pretty decent season, but not the greatest of seasons, I think you go out there and buy him on a decent price this week. In the third and final forward I look to buy and trade for this week's Brandon Ingram of the New Orleans Pelicans. So Brandon Ingram, we know he's a walk-in basket, 25, 30 points a game he's going to average, but a toe injury has definitely limited him over the last couple weeks here on and off of Brandon Ingram. The season for Ingram, numbers definitely down, 20.8 points a game, 5.1 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 1.9 threes, and 47% from the field. So like I said, we haven't really seen him in the last month here, is Brandon Ingram. And this is the time to go get him before he comes back and puts up numbers. And another thing, with Zion Williamson out, more of the scoring load's going to go back to Brandon Ingram until Williamson comes back. And he's a guy, like I said, who could drop 25, 30 points nightly. So right now, while he's not back and he's been out pretty much the last month here as Ingram, this is a perfect time to go get him because he's right around the corner, his return. And he's a guy that definitely can help fantasy owners in many ways. That's a few forwards I look to buy and trade for here in Week 13 of the fantasy basketball season.